Welcome back to Diving into Watches, and we wish and hope that you had a really great Merry Christmas and your 2024 New Year is off to a fabulous start. I know here at Diving into Watches we had a great Christmas, and our New Year is off to a good roll as we have some great reviews lined up for you this year going forward. So the one we're going to review today is a watch that has been reviewed, not this particular watch, but a watch brand that's been reviewed several times on our channel now. That we've really grown, or I've really grown in love with, and really enjoyed their watches and getting a lot of wear out of. And that watch company is Spinnaker. They are a micro. Well, some people will argue with me in the comments that they're not a micro brand because they're owned by a conglomerate, but I would still call them a micro brand in consideration to others like Citizen, Seiko, Rolex, Tudor, some of the big name brands. I'm not going to debate whether they're micro brand or not. Just in my mind, they're kind of a micro brand. But they are an excellent watch company. And we picked up a watch at the end of 2023, and then we wore it all through the holidays and now into New Year to get a real feel for it. And it is the Spinnaker. I'm going to pronounce it as Boettger. It's spelled B-O-E-T-T, I think E-G or G-E-R, but I'm going to pronounce it as Boettger. I'm so someone, or Boettger. Someone will probably correct me in the comments. That's okay, no big deal. But what really drew my eye to this one, it was limited edition, so it's 650 pieces. This particular watch we're going to be looking at is number 51 of 650 pieces. It came with two bracelets. It came with two stainless steel bracelet, and it also came with an olive drab rubber bracelet and in a nice case, which I don't know if you can see right over my right shoulder right there. We'll take a closer look when we go to the bench. But it came with that also. And it has a Miyota 9000 movement in it. So it's a really good movement, high beat movement. So I was happy to see that. And so I picked it up. I did not pick it up through Spinnaker. I think on Spinnaker they're 650 or 695. I actually found it through Amazon. But I think it still came from Spinnaker, even though it was on Amazon. And I picked it up for about $100 less. So if you look around, you can find them. I know if you go on Spinnaker's website over here over my left shoulder, this particular watch, it says sold out. They did it in like, I think, 6 different colors, and all the colors but 2, I believe, are sold out. So it is obviously a very popular watch. So we're going to take a more in-depth look. We picked up the Spinnaker in olive drab. I really like that olive drab color with the olive drab bracelet. We'll take a review on the bench with this one. I had originally on the bracelet, but my wife wanted me to put it on the olive drab. On the website it calls khaki, but I'm kind of calling it an olive drab rubber strap, FKM rubber strap. I don't know if this is FKM, but it is a rubber strap, so I'm just going to say it's an FKM rubber strap. And we'll take a look at the really cool, quirky, and unique features of the Spinnaker Boettger and all the beauty that it is and why you should consider picking one up. So without further ado, let's go over to the bench. Okay, so here we are on the bench. When you get it, it comes in a nice yellow box that this sits inside of. It comes in this yellow case. It reminds me of Invicta's cases back in the day when they were doing cases and stuff before they just went to, not quite this type of Pelican tile case, but the yellow cases. And this is not a super high quality case. I mean, it's okay. You can tell when you get it. It's not like a super high end case, but it's cool. But you get the case, you open it up. Inside the case, you have this little pouch. This has the instruction manual, international warranty, and the owner's booklet. The international warranty with Spinnaker is 2 years, which is nice because a lot of companies only give you 1 year, so they're giving you 2 years, which is really nice. And then the owner's booklet, which I haven't opened this up. It's still sealed in the packet. It sits right up here in the top of the box, just like that. And then inside the case, you have two screwdrivers, and I'll talk about why there's two screwdrivers. And then you have a watch removal tool, which I'm not quite sure why this is here, because the way that the metal band is set up, you'll see that, and the rubber strap that you will hardly ever use this, but they give you this cool little tool. As I said, it came on the stainless steel bracelet, which is logoed with Spinnaker, and the khaki, as they call khaki, I'm going to call it olive drab FKM rubber. The rubber bracelet was over here. And so I put it on that and wore it. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out. I had sized the bracelet, but because it's winter, it's a little loose, and I don't want to go any more taking out than I already did. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it, and then I'll wear it probably in the summer and wear this one in the winter. So that is the package that it comes into. I will go over the dimensions really quick here before I get into all the cool little nitty gritties. It is a Miyota 9015 to be exact. It is 3/16 L stainless steel. The case is 42 millimeters. The lug to lug is 22 millimeters, and the lug width is 22 millimeters, and the lug to lug is 47.5, and the case thickness is 13.5, which is very nice. It's not overly too thick at all, which makes it really, really nice. And then it is a screw down case back on it. It is 200 meters of water resistance, and it is a sapphire AR coated glass, and then it is 120 click rotational unidirectional bezel, and the clicks are very firm, very nice. I don't think my mic can pick it up. I'm gonna have to get another mic so I can pick these up so you can hear these, pick these up. But the QC, as always with Spinnaker, is right on. It lines up right at the top, so that's really, really nice. Before I get into some of the cool features of it, one of the things I talked about earlier, there was the two screwdrivers, is it is drilled. Well, I guess you could say it's drilled end links, even though it's male lug. It's a male end link lug, which probably the one thing I don't like about it, because it doesn't allow the rubber or the metal bracelet to really fold down well over the wrist. I think this would have been nicer as a female lug end here, but it does look cool though. It does look cool. The bracelet's cool on it, but the end here where you would normally have end links, these are screw-in end links, and they screw through. One piece is longer, and then you got like another head on the end, and the one piece screws into the heavier shaft. And I can tell you, with the metal one, it's no problem putting the screw through and then screwing the other side onto it. But with the rubber bracelet, it literally took almost an hour. And you can actually see this one looks like it's coming out a little bit. I might have to double check that to see if it's coming unscrewed right there, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I'll double check it. And I know someone made a comment about my fingernails having dirt in them. This is not dirt, folks. This is paint. I was painting and I got paint on my hands. So no, this is not dirt on my fingernails. It's just paint that got in there. So to the person who made the comment about my fingers being dirty, this is paint. So, I mean, you just can't, obviously, some people just get triggered by certain things, and that obviously triggers somebody. So I digress. But so these screw in, and it probably took me a solid hour to get these to connect till I figured out exactly how to hold it, get it to the little screws. So that I don't like at all. I like the concept, but I don't like the execution of it. So I'm going to give it an A for intention and an F for execution. The screw down crown is at the 4 o'clock, like many other watches, and the screw down crown is marked with the symbol for Spinnaker watches. It's a very comfortable strap, so there's no complaints there. It is also logoed with Spinnaker on the end buckle, on the strap, and even on the inside it says Spinnaker, so there's a lot of labeling on the inside of it. On the back, it is a screw down case back, like literally not screw, like turn a screw like your normal ones where you have to screw it down with the tool. It literally is screws in the case back. So I don't think I would want to be opening this up too much, just because of that seal that you're going to have back there. So the cool feature of this watch, besides the color, I really love the olive drab. They come in yellow, orange, blue, white, black. I think there's one other color. And obviously this olive drab, so maybe this is the other color I'm thinking of. But I really liked the olive drab. But what sets this watch apart, and you probably have already seen it, and you're kind of like, what the heck, is if you look straight on, those hands and the seconds hand, which are disappear under the indices. The indices is a floating indice dial. So the indices float underneath the sapphire glass, and they move, and the hands move underneath the indices. So it is set in like an internal bezel where the indices are floating. I've never seen a watch like this before. I'm sure there's some out there, and someone will tell me of a watch that they know of or have that has that same type of setup. But that I thought was really, really cool, the way those indices just float like that and the hands move underneath. It's not distracting at all. It makes telling the time very, very easy. You have a date only on here, and then you have loomed indices all around. These are superluminova on the indices, and then you have olive drab dial face. The Spinnaker is applied, and then the automatic and the 1,000 foot, 300 meter, I'm sorry, I said 200 meter earlier. It's 300 meter, 1,000 foot feet depth. That is also printed also, and then the indices applied. The inner chapter ring is green, and then the 0 to 20 seconds or 20, I'm sorry, 0 to 20 minutes is a tan color. So it's kind of got some cool kind of, quasi-military features to it. The bezel has some knurling on the sides. The bezel is rather thin, and it's hard. You cannot grip. It's very difficult to grip in this section here, and where these come in. It's very difficult. So I have to grab it on the sides right here to move it around. But trying to grab it up here, because how thin it is, it's a bit of a challenge. You have to grab it I have to grab it at the 9 and the 3 o'clock to turn it, and it works just fine. But grabbing it at maybe the 10 and the 5, it's too thin right in here. The bezel's not thick enough to really get a good grip on, but there's no issues grabbing it. There's plenty of grip here with the knurling on it, and then the knurling on the crown is excellent. We'll go ahead and throw it on the time grapher so you can see how well the Miyota 9000 is doing. Real quick, we'll do a loom shot, and then we will do a wrist shot, and then we will put it on the time grapher so that you can see how a Miyota 9000 does in comparison to other watches. So let's go ahead and charge this up, and let's see what the loom looks like. Okay, typical of a lot of Spinnaker watches, they do the indices in a green loom, and then the hands, hopefully you can pick up on the camera, the hands are a blue loom, which I think is what a CW3 or CGB. It's a different loom, and then these are superluminova in green, and then the pip at the 12 o'clock is in the blue also. So you get some nice contrast as far as the loom, so it's not everything matching, so that is really cool. I like that. The date window is not loomed, so you will not see the date at night, but you can see they did put a pip right there by the loom, so you can also see that. So the loom is very, very good. Glows quite well. It stands out very well. Not probably to the level of maybe a Seiko loom, but it's excellent. Excellent for what the watch is and what you're getting here. I'm very, very happy and impressed with the loom. So let's go ahead and get a wrist shot real quick. Before I throw it on my wrist, I'm just got what I'm wearing today, a wristwatch check, is I have my Orient Mako 3 on. And it's kind of funny that it is also in the olive drab and tan and champagne dial kind of to go along with the, I didn't even plan that, but it kind of worked out pretty really well. That's a cool photo right there of those two watches together. Two excellent watches, two completely different watch theories and designs, but excellent. I will link down in the comments in the info section the review I did on the Orient Mako 3. Love this watch. Excellent watch. Extremely comfortable. Great value for the money. So go check out that video. Okay, there is the wrist, what it looks like on the wrist. It sits very, very well. You can see where I talked about the male end links do not allow the rubber strap to fold down very, very well on my wrist. I have a 6¼ inch wrist, so I have a very, very small wrist, probably compared to a lot of people. I think most people are 6.5 or larger. I have this one all the way on the very last button, last hole on the strap. I do like that Spinnaker does this. Aragon does this also. I covered this in my last review, but they have this guards that lock in the strap hold. I guess you call it the holder, placer, strap holder right here. It locks it in so it doesn't move. And then you got the other one that comes over here. So I really like this feature, and I touched on that in the Aragon review. I did the video before on the purple Dive Master by Aragon. But it wears very, very comfortably on the wrist. It's very light. Not obviously like a titanium watch, but it's very comfortable. I think it looks really, really cool on the olive drab bracelet. I like that it comes with two different bracelet options, but I like it on the rubber as far as the looks better than the bracelet, but it does look good on the bracelet. It is sharp. My wife, when I asked her thoughts, she said, it looks like all other dive watches, but the floating indices were cool, and she did like the color of the strap, and she likes it better on this strap. So it's all personal preference. So there it is on the wrist and what it looks like. Let's go ahead and throw it on the time grapher over here. We'll throw it on the time grapher, and we'll see how well it's doing on the time grapher. Okay, so there we go. We're 5 seconds, 252 amplitude, 0.3 beat error, 28,800 beats per second, plus 5 seconds, plus 5 seconds. The third test, plus 4 seconds. And the last test is going to be at plus 4 seconds. So overall, this watch is doing very, very well. It has not been worn in a few days, and typically when you time graph a watch, it hasn't been worn in a few days. It doesn't time as well as it's been worn and wound for quite a while. But right out of the box, not on the wrist, we're plus 5, plus 5, plus 4, plus 4, 28,800 beats per second. I ran this at a 51 lift angle. I did not check before I did it to see if that was a correct lifting angle, but I'm pretty sure that the miyota is a 51 lift angle. I know Seiko's a 52. So there you go. Yeah, that's a solid for a watch on a daily basis. You can't. That's excellent. So no complaints there, and it's really cool as you're getting that high beat movement. All right, so there's the bench review of the Spinnaker Boettger dive watch. Do I think you should pick one up? You should look at them. I would definitely tell you to consider this watch and give Spinnaker a look if you're looking for something a little above the normal Spinnaker watches that they do, because most of what they put in their watches is the Seiko NH35, and I really love that they put the Miyota 9000 in here. So you're getting a high beat movement, a solid quality build from a solid company, limited edition run watch that is an excellent watch. You saw in the time graph, you saw how well it's doing. I don't think you could go wrong. I think you can pick this up in the 550 range, and I think that's excellent considering the two straps, the case, the Miyota 9000 movement, the lineage of how long Spinnaker's been around and the quality watches that they put around. This is the third Spinnaker that I own. I have another Spinnaker lined up, which is, they call it the Wreck of all names. To me, it's like my daily beater. I wrench on the truck, wrench on the cars with it, and I will cover that one here in the next week or two. And I absolutely love to death that watch, and it's an automatic, but it's just such a great watch and some cool features to it. I think this is one you should go look at, even if the olive drab is not your color. Go look at the other colors. If they don't have any available on the website because they're sold out, check Amazon. I believe you can pick some up there. I don't know if Choma Shops is going to have them because they tend to deal within older models, discontinued models, or surplus excess models of watches that can't be sold by companies. But check Choma Shop; they might have them. But I think this watch by Spinnaker is one that you should definitely check out. I think it's a solid watch. The floating indices, I just think is really cool. The way those indices float, I think that's awesome. The two strap options that you get the rubber strap and the bracelet. I don't think you can go wrong there. I think you get a lot of value for your dollar. And right now in today's, getting with so many watch companies competing for your dollar, they are all definitely stepping up their game, and they have to step up their game. So again, I don't think you can go wrong with the Spinnaker. So hey, thank you all for watching. I hope we have a great 2024. I hope you all have a great 2024. Please hit that subscribe button. Give me that thumbs up. Helps push that algorithm out. Unfortunately, you got to play those games with YouTube to get this out. Channel is growing, and it's all because of you and our followers. We appreciate it. We have great reviews coming up for you here in the next few weeks. So stay tuned. I am diving into watches, and we'll talk to you next week. And I'm out.